Hello, hello, great and glorious morning to you. I really hope that you're having an awesome OnPassive day. My name's Jeffrey, and this is part two of a topic that talks about global change, global tech change in particular. Now, part one gave some historical tech change information, so to speak. It shows how we got from where we were to where we are. Specifically, it talked about digital transformation, right? How we evolved from integrated chips to integrated systems to platforms that actually run digital ecosystems. And today I'm talking about ecosystems, consciousness, and AI. And there's a couple of minutes in there where it might get just a little dicey, but it'll be all right. We'll have fun with it, and hopefully it'll kind of expand us out a bit and get us a greater understanding. So anyway, a digital ecosystem is a complex network of people and businesses and systems that they use technology to interact with one another, right? The system uses like some different things. It uses physical layers. We can, excuse me, we can think of those as our devices. It uses layers of information, that's data. And we also have applications, our apps, right? Layers of apps that we use. Now, in the case of digital ecosystems like the one developed by OnPassive, right? A centralized database provides uh, the foundation for the entire system. And APIs, which we've heard the tech pros talk about, right? The application programming interfaces, the user interfaces, they form the backbone of digital ecosystems and the software as a service, right? SaaS systems that we talked about and that OnPassive certainly uses with great diligence is like the body of the ecosystems in that it allows us to reach out and it allows us to share data via the cloud usually. Now, artificial intelligence and big data analytics, those platforms, those are two of the newer technologies out there that are making digital ecosystems a lot better. So life is getting good for us, right? Now, the first digital ecosystem, just as a piece of trivia, were actually built, I think, in the early 1900s by a friend we all know, a great British scientist called Alexander Graham Bell. And he had actually invented both the phone and the fax, and he started the digital ecosystem revolution way back then. I guess I could say that. But anyway, it's evolved exponentially since then, and recently, part of that evolution has given rise to what we call conscious business. Now, in an age of hybrid things like, I mean, just tons of hybrid stuff, right? Uh, Cars, et cetera, hybrid technologies, we could say that a conscious business is a hybrid business that has normal aspects of business, but its core operating philosophies, they're more new age in that they have in them room for empathy and understanding. And this makes the business run on a more compassionate level, if you get my drift. Anyway, it's a business that has an intention to produce a positive impact on the world for humanity and for the planet. Now, there was a guy that wrote a book, Conscious Business, How to Build Value Through Values. His name was Fred Kaufman. And he says, quote, you can see the quote here, consciousness is the main source of organizational greatness, right? Now, in consciousness, we work in our passion and express our values through that work. And Kaufman goes on to say that consciousness business seeks to promote the intelligent pursuit of happiness in all of its stakeholders, every one of us, right? It produces a sustainable, exceptional performance, and it's done through solidarity of the community. In our case, the founders community and the members of OnPassive, and in each of our members' dignities and yada yada. So we know that OnPassive is doing that in spades. And as we saw in the historical shifts that we talked about in part one, There have been a few paradigm shifts that have brought us to where we are as related to computing technology that forever changed the way that we manage the organizations we work in. Now, there are a couple of colossal, mammoth shifts that we're experiencing right now that actually started dozens of years ago. I'm going to try my best to kind of put them together so we can see how they're in sync. But the energies in these shifts are creating unprecedented change that, believe it or not, is helping humanity to evolve. Now, the first is causing a lot of people, a great many in the world, to wake up to things, right? An awakening having to do with the raising of human consciousness. And this started about 1990. It really kicked into gear following 2012. If you're not sure what I mean, hey, that's okay. I'm just saying that it's got a lot of people working together for the benefit of the greater good of humanity. Now, this particular work involves the quantum or spiritual side of things by finding answers from within as opposed to outside of ourselves through prayer and meditation, by focusing on others rather than self, and understanding that life is based on connectedness and mutual benefit, not necessarily the separation and the survival of the fittest like we were led to believe. Now, at the same time, a parallel work, if I could use that term, done in the real world involves the transformation of technology that has brought us, headlong into the fourth industrial revolution. Now, in that sense, OnPassive is truly revolutionary, among others. Now, interestingly, though the idea of AI has been around a while, we could say that it really come of age perhaps, in 2016. You see, during 2016, um, in Seoul, South Korea, there were some events that surrounded an ancient Chinese game. That game was created about 4,000 years ago, and it changed the course of history as we knew it. And that's because that was when the world champion of an Asian board game that was called Go, Go, went head to head with an AI program that was developed by Google, and that program was called AlphaGo. Okay, makes sense. And this guy went head to head with it in a series of competitions that became known as the Google DeepMind Challenge match. And let me tell you something. That event was the public unveiling of deep learning. We've heard about that. It's a class of machine learning, which is a form of artificial intelligence, AI, and it mimics the neural networks of the human brain. Now, simply put, AlphaGo was a computer program that was designed to learn through self-teaching, um, as it pertains to specific tasking. All right. In this particular instance, AlphaGo was given the rules of the game Go, and it was furnished with a database of historical games that contained about 30 million moves made by expert players through the years. Which, think about that, right? Now, AlphaGo's performance, winning 4 out of 5 games in the competition, ushered in what could be thought of as the day that AI came of age, and that marked the beginning of the new fourth industrial revolution. So, man, that's when we really got going. Anyway, these aspects of change, both of them, right, the technological and the spiritual, are promoting human evolution, and they're getting stronger. They've gotten stronger. They've gained momentum, as it were, over the past half dozen years or so. And as a result, they can be seen and felt with higher frequency and with greater intensity. Now, in case you're wondering, this is why there seems to be so much chaos in the world. Um, there are advancements located on the fringe between the spiritual and physical worlds, right? And some of this tech has actually forked off onto a path that's trying to merge the two. Now, there is, after all, a battle between light and dark, so that shouldn't come as a big surprise, but that's a big, different story. So, excuse me. Anyway, We're seeing humanity change as advancements converge, um, bringing tsunamis of changes to the fundamentals of our economics and in the spiritual philosophies that affect life and human consciousness. Now, these changes, right, changes that are very active, um, they they represent some deeply churning global currents, right? They're distinct from one another, yet they're developing together and they're affecting everything that's going on with the planet in one way or another, be it great or small, physical, spiritual, it really doesn't matter. They're all in there together and it's all melting into a big ball of energy that may spurt out on different angles. But anyway, on the quantum side of things, these waves are felt in human consciousness. Um, and they're working to shine the light on the dark areas of humanity, to lift us all up. On the technical side, the activity is seen in the world in the form of these advancements that we've talked about, right? The advancements that are seen and felt in world sciences, economics, media, right? And these paradigm shifts are the culmination of lesser shifts that will be or have been seen already. um, in many ways. And one of them, the paradigm shift that is OnPassive, is already on the scene. It's a 4-year movement that's been helping to raise human consciousness on the one side through conscious business and helping people live with and share economic abundance on the other through its business solutions. Now, OnPassive is going to soon be the single biggest company in the world having the single biggest impact for good on the planet. And it's a company whose benevolently minded CEO has merged, has hardwired, if you will, compassion and technology to form a company whose vision is to lift humanity through compassionate action. And no company on earth will give you the value that OnPassive will give you. So get ready to be in the best shape of your lives. Now, in part 3, we're going to talk a little about OnPassive CEO, his vision, and the heart of his company. So I want to thank you for listening. Please, to learn more about OnPassive, check out our website, onpassive.com, and all our feeds in the social media platforms. And just know moving forward that we wish only blessing and blessing upon you and upon your family and upon your future. Thank you.
For us, is stacking the cool or delivering a higher quality and adding more features or securing more. So is it ready as of now? What we have in OnPassive, okay, for the cost that it is, I promise you, you have not seen any business, or you probably have never dreamt in your life, not myself, to have a business that I can be a partner, I can receive a benefit by using that product financially, not only the time I'm going to save in my life every day, 2-3 hours, wasted on broken applications. That's not going to happen. Number one, it's one place, so you're not going to have to hop around. Number two, it runs on autopilot. We do the work. So it's going to save you a ton of time and money, and it's more value than you've ever received in one place. No company is going to give you that much value. No company. I mean, I don't know how to tell you that. I have to keep my tone. No company on the face of earth is giving you the value that OnPassive is giving you and will give you. No company on the planet that we live on, okay? Not talking about aliens, that will give you the value that OnPassive is going to give you. I'm going to repeat, probably you missed that. No company that I know or that is going to give you so much value for one business or for one transaction. I think you didn't get me. Okay. Listen, no company that you or I know ever existed in the history of any market that will give you so much value just because you're cute or for being in. 5 more times. Let's do that again. I'm not going to do it. I think you get my point. There's no company ever is going to give you that much value. So we have to be the most valuable company to you, therefore your family or your well-being in a way.